I'm Julie Reilly and I'm the CEO of Australians Investing in Women. Championing a gender lens is what we're all about. It's what our team does every day. To have the privilege of speaking to a board or to a group of philanthropists who you know are doing good in the world and trying to do good in the world, but to help them understand that a gender lens or a real focus on women and girls is going to get them more impact. And have them understand that and see things that they hadn't seen before. That's really the sweet spot for our work. Growing up, I was the youngest of 4 girls in a single parent family. So those kind of systemic disadvantages that women had were obvious to me the whole way along. Right from the beginning, even though I have no memory of it, my mother left a violent marriage, but with nowhere to go. There were no women's refuges. The only way that women were single was if they were deserted wives in those days. So if you did the deserting, there wasn't really a pension or a support system for you. Mum was the sole breadwinner, the only person bringing income into our family. And yet when superannuation was first introduced, she was told that she wasn't allowed to have superannuation, it was for men. Fortunately, we've caught up on that a long way, but we know that superannuation and retirement savings are one of the real inequalities that women experience as they retire. One of the most satisfying pieces of championing a gender lens, I think, has been with Deloitte and the work that both Minderoo and Australians Investing in Women were part of for 2 research reports, one called Breaking the Norm and one Remaking the Norm. And those research reports were really saying to Australia, we are stuck very strongly in rigid gender norms, and that's limiting our capacity as a society and as an economy. So there's the social argument and the economic argument. What was so powerful about that was if you take away the moral argument or the passionate argument about everyone having a fair go, and you speak to people in raw economic terms, to be able to demonstrate that we as a country were losing $128 billion annually because of restrictive gender norms, to see our Treasurer quote that figure, to see our Prime Minister, our Minister for Women, our Minister for Finance recognise and really change the way they funded is a very powerful wake-up call. I think we've really evolved from our early days as Australian Women Donors Network, which really the title suggested it was about women supporting women and it was only up to women to invest in women. I love that we're now Australians Investing in Women. It's about everyone who's giving, building their investment in women and girls, or at least consciously and intentionally thinking about how their giving impacts women and girls and gender equality. I would say without a gender lens, we see in society lots of historical expressions of a world designed by men for men, whether it's the office temperature settings in the workplace because they were predominantly occupied by men, whether it's safety in the cars that we drive because crash test dummies are largely based on male anatomy, whether it's going out to the theatre and seeing the long queue for women waiting for the bathroom and not so much of a queue, if any, for the men. So these are things that are not intentional or malicious. They are unconsciously built in to a world that doesn't see women's needs. How can we actually unleash the power of women to do good in the world? There are many things that philanthropy can do that are actually about improving our social programs and services by intentionally and expressly saying, I want you to think about, if I give you this investment or this money or this grant, how will it impact women? Very simple question, but very powerful thought process. As a small not-for-profit, we are reliant fully on philanthropic funding for our own existence and our own impact. We are really inviting of anyone who cares about gender equality, who cares about a fair go for everyone, to join our circle as both gender lens philanthropists and as supporters of ours. They want to see this work continue.